Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my monthly update for the Panners Pan. This project was created by Elizabeth, who is also known as Shiny Happy Pans over on Instagram. If you're not following her already, please go over and give her a follow. She's a good friend of mine and she's very, very good at creating fun projects. And this one was all about shouting out other project panners. The project panning community is a growing but still small community of makeup enthusiasts. We're kind of like a subcategory of the makeup community over on social media. And because of that, we know a lot of each other, we support each other, and we've become friends over the years through project panning, and it's been a lot of fun. I've made a lot of friends and I've had a lot of fun interacting with a bunch of people that I would have never interacted with. When I tell people in my real life that I have a friend in UK that I talk to regularly, that I have a friend in Australia that I talk to regularly, or I chat with online regularly, they can't believe it. Like, people in my community, in my real world, don't have friends in the UK and Australia, but I do because of project panning. And I think that is really cool. And I find that I am very fortunate to have so many friends around the world. I have friends in France, I have friends in Germany, all because of project panning. And I am very, very, very grateful and lucky to have met so many of you through project panning and to be able to say that, yeah, I talk to people from France and Germany and the UK and Australia. It is pretty cool. Anyways, the idea behind this project is to link a product to a project panner and work on it. And Elizabeth set this project up so that it is never ending. I think most of the people who originally started this project have ended it despite Elizabeth's orders. I don't know what we're going to do about that, Liz. They broke the rules, but I am still going. I think in my heart of hearts, I'd like to try and keep it going until I finish the original 10 products that I put in this project. But there's a few that might not be never ending. They might be forever products. So I don't know if I can keep this project going forever, but I'm just taking it 1 month at a time. Because of this project, I've worked on 46 products, which is super exciting. And I've met goals on 24 of them. So overall, this project is going well, but I have made this project a progressive. So every month, whether I meet my goal on an item or not, I roll in another item for a project panner, which is why I am currently up to 23 products that I'm working on in this project. It's not a world record for me. I've had projects with more products. I've done 50 Shades of Purple. That was 50 products. I've done the 2020 Vision Project Pan. That was 40 products. So I've had projects with a lot of products, but 23 is a lot. And to be honest, I don't mind because I have a lot of makeup. And if I didn't put them in projects, they wouldn't get used at all. So even if I'm just using them a little bit in this project, it's more than if it wasn't in the project at all. I did meet my goal on one of my 3 focus products. I am trying to choose 3 focus products at every update to zero in on above all the other items. Sometimes that works out for me. A lot of times it doesn't, but I did meet my goal on one of the 3 focus products this month. So let's start with that one. The item that I met my goal on this month is my Safari Rain palette from Colored Rain. This was in here for Kat from Kitschnitch. She is one of the very few project panners that I've put into this project that I've had no interaction with. We've never collaborated together. I don't think she has a clue as to who I am. I obviously know who she is and I support her and I like her content very much. All the other project panners I've ever mentioned in this project, I've at least collaborated with. I don't know if I could call them all my friends, but I've collaborated with them or I follow them and support them and love them. But Kat, I've never collaborated with, unfortunately. I would love to, but I put this palette in this project because of her, because she 110% is the reason why I bought this palette. She raved about it and she made it look so beautiful. And I did feel like overall it's a unique color story. I don't have a lot of these shades in my collection, although I probably have many of them. I treated myself to this palette and because of her. And I rolled this palette into this project as kind of like a no pan left behind challenge. I wanted to do an eye look with each, focusing in on each of the shadows I do feel like I can create a few cohesive looks using only the eyeshadows in this project plus like a brow bone highlight. But I wanted to give each shadow in this palette its own featured eye look. And as of last month, I'd only done 4 of the shadows. And so I had to use 5 more shadows. And I did do that. The first one being this orangey shade over here called Tigress. Unfortunately, the more I use this palette, the more I found fault with it. And I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or not, but this shadow creased on me big time and it kind of bunched up. Like it moved around on my eyelid throughout the day. And I do use an eyeshadow primer. I didn't use like a glitter glue. Maybe that would be something I would try for next time, is to pair it with a glitter glue. I just used a regular eyeshadow primer. But when I looked in the mirror several hours after applying my makeup, it had kind of traveled and moved around. And if my eyes were open, I couldn't really see it or anything wrong with my eye look. But when I closed my eyes and looked in the mirror, I was like, oh Lord, that is not pretty. The second shade I used was this matte kind of army green shade called Congo Basin. Beautiful shade. I have no problems with it. It was lovely and it performed as I would expect it to. The next eyeshadow look I did focused on this shimmery green shade here called Green Valley. This is a really pretty color and I really liked it, but I felt like it disappeared throughout the day. And when I put it on that morning and when I took the little video that I'm showing of this eye look, it was vibrant and pigmented, and throughout the day it just kept fading and fading and fading. And I'm not the type of person to touch my eyes. Like if I'm gonna touch anywhere, it's gonna be around my inner corner, but I don't touch my eyelid once I put my makeup on. But yeah, it just kind of faded away into nothing throughout the day. And then the last 2 shades I had to use for this project were down here. This shade is called Amazon Basin. This might be the shadow that sold me for this palette. This is kind of a pewtery, taupey shade, and I am such a sucker for these shades. I do have several of this shade in my collection, including Satin Taupe from MAC and a L'Oreal shadow that's very similar to this. But there's something about this shade that when I see it, I want it. And I was really excited to get this shadow in this palette. And unfortunately, I had trouble with this shadow as well. It seems like the shimmers were giving me the flux. The mattes I really didn't have a problem with, but the shimmers, I had issues with all of them. I actually ended up wearing this shadow 4 separate times because I never felt like I got a good eye look, and I never... or a couple times I didn't get a chance to get any video, and I really wanted to post a little video of me wearing the eyeshadow. But it wasn't until the 4th time that I wore it that I was really satisfied with my eye look, and I felt like it did what it was supposed to do on the eyelid. And maybe it's that the top layer had to be like broken through, and what was underneath was a better quality eyeshadow. But the first 3 times I was always a little underwhelmed by the shadow, and it wasn't until the last time I used it that I was finally happy with it. And I paired it with, I think, some matte pinks, and I like that as well very much. And then of course the final shadow is this chocolatey brown matte shade called Matriarch, and I loved it. It is a gorgeous deep brown. No issues with this eyeshadow whatsoever. I really liked it. So I'm happy to report that I finally met my goal on this palette. It took longer than it should, because really, if we're just talking about using a palette 9 times, I should have knocked it out in a month. But I have a lot of eyeshadows in different projects, and it took this long for me to meet my goal on it. But I'm happy to have done it, and I'm happy that I was able to use this palette that I blew my low-buy on, and it's not just sitting untouched in the office. So win, win, win. The next focus product is this lip gloss from Colourpop in the shade Curvy. I think you could finally see my progress in this tube. For month after month after month, I've been waving this tube in front of this camera, and you couldn't see anything. It just looked completely opaque. There was no way to measure progress, and it was very, very frustrating. And I finally can see straight through this packaging all the way around. It is getting there. My goal for this month was to use it to the point where I could take the stopper out. And although I haven't technically taken the stopper out yet, I do feel like I'm there. For some reason, every time I pull the wand out, a little bit of product collects around this end, the handle end, and I don't know why it does that, but what I tend to do is I take my finger and I kind of roll the wand along my finger and pick up all that product, and then I like dab it in the center of my lip, and then I spread it around with the brush. And that way I'm using, and I usually have enough for my entire lips with just that product that collects on the tip, and it's almost every time I pull the wand out that it's there. I don't know why this is doing that. Once I stop getting any product up here, I will go ahead and take the stopper out. But of course, once I take the stopper out of this product, it can't sit in my purse anymore, and that's where this lives right now. I keep this in my purse, and I tend to apply it either after lunch or on my way home from work. And once the stopper comes out, that's over, because it's going to be a big leaky mess, and it's just going to sit upright in my bathroom from the time I take the stopper out until the time this packaging is completely empty. But I am so very happy to finally be able to show you all the progress that I've made. I knew I was getting there, but I had no way to show it. And yeah, it's really clearing out now. Just kind of swiping it around. That being said, there's still probably a few more months worth of product. Like, I don't think it's going to be gone next week. I think it could be if I was like the type of person to reapply 5 times a day, but obviously I'm not. But yeah, I think in another month or two, in another couple months, this will be an empty, and I'm really, really excited. Look at all that window I got right there. Holy cow. That is very satisfying. I look forward to this being an empty. I don't know if I've ever loved this lip gloss as much as I wanted to. But now I really am just like, you need to go. You need to go. There's really, I don't know. I don't think there was ever really any kind of a scent or flavor to this lip gloss, which seems crazy because for me, 50% of the fun of a lip gloss is a nice sweet or minty or fruity scent that I look forward to putting on my lips, and this doesn't smell or taste like anything. But also there is glitter in it, and I'm sometimes aware of that glitter on my lips. I don't like that feeling. I don't know why I don't love this lip gloss as much as I want to, but I don't. And I'm not going to be sad when it's gone. In fact, I'm going to be ecstatic when this is gone, and I'm going to keep working on it until it is. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this lip gloss in the shade Curvy is in this project for Chic Geek. All right, my third focus product for this month is a single eyeshadow from Lookie Beauty in the shade Halo. This is in here for Alex, aka Alejandra Lisette. I've been trying to hit pan on this forever. This is one of the original, I believe this is one of the original 10 products in this project. The lip gloss in Curvy is too. And my goal is to just hit pan on this. I don't want to use it all up. I just want to hit pan on it. And it's going slow. I did finally, this past month though, use this one time, and I used it over my black eyeshadow base from e.l.f. that is in my Deck of Panning project, which is something I have been encouraged by several of you to try for a long time, and that I've personally been wanting to try for a long time, and I just never did it. And I finally did it over spring break when I was home and I could take the time to play around. It turns out it didn't take any longer than any of my other eye looks. It turns out it was a very wearable look. And interestingly enough, when I apply this very, very light single shadow that looks quite pinky peachy over a black base, it's purple. It is a lilac shade. It is purple. And I like the combination very much. I think it might be the best way to use the shadow. Unfortunately, it didn't make me fall in love with this single shadow anymore though. It's still not a love. And I figured out finally the reason why I don't love this shadow. The reason why I don't love this shadow is because despite the fact that it looks like it's got shine, it really doesn't have any shine. When I apply it on my eyelid without any colorful base, it really doesn't show up. And when I apply it on my eyelid over a colored base like a black eyeliner, it does show up, but there's still no shine. And if I'm putting something on my eyelid, I generally want it to be as metallic as humanly possible. I want glitter, I want metallics, I want something that really pops. And this just doesn't have it. It's kind of, honestly, it's kind of a disappointing eyeshadow. A lot of times when I'm ordering, or when I used to order single shadows from indie websites, you know, you're going off a photo and a description of the shadow and making the best guess. It's not like I can go into a store and swatch these shadows. And yeah, I kind of regret buying this. This is not a me shadow. And if I was the type of person to declutter, I would totally declutter this, but I am not the type of person to declutter. That's just not in my DNA makeup. The most likely scenario is that once I hit pan on this, I might mix it in with another shadow and do like a Franken shadow. So that's probably what will end up happening to this eventually. But for now, I just want to keep using it and try to hit pan on it for this project. And then I'll probably Franken it with something that is extremely shimmery to give me the shimmer that I want from this. With all that being said though, I really only used this one time in the past month, which is not really focusing in on this product like I thought I would, but I did figure out how I want to wear it, and I feel comfortable wearing it that way on top of that black eyeshadow base, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. Hopefully I will hit pan on this. Like, I just need to do it. I've been saying that for months though. Like, I just need to make it happen. Okay, for this update, we are going to go through all of the remaining products. We're going to do a quick rundown of every item and who they're in this project for and whether I use them at all or not. And then we'll go over a new product that I'm bringing in for this month. At the top of the lineup, we have this Colourpop lip liner in BFF. This is in this project for Liz, who is Shiny Happy Pans, the creator of this project. I did use this twice over the past month, but I was not able to make a new mark on my paper, of course. This is one of the original 10 items in this project that I would technically want to finish before I call this project done, and I feel like I am never, ever going to finish this lip liner. Maybe in 10 years, but this is a holdup. Definitely a holdup. Next is my Maybelline Color Tattoo in Fool's Gold. This is in here for Rebecca Morgan and Jocelyn Claire. This is a shade I haven't been having a lot of luck with remembering to put on my eyelid on a consistent basis, but I did remember to use this a few times over the past month. This actually pairs very well with two of the shades in my Pan palette this year. I have a very deep, like charcoaly green shade that I like to put on top of this, but I also have a very bold, like light metallic green shade that I like to pair on top of this as well. I like both those combinations, and because of that, I have been reaching for this a little bit more. I don't love this product, but it does make an okay eye base. It just doesn't really stand alone the way I'd like it to, or the way I thought it did when I went to go buy it. There's still an absolute ton of product in here. It's nowhere near being gone, but I'm happy I used it a few times over the past month, because there have been a lot of months over the years when I didn't reach for this at all. Next is an eyeliner from Jante Blue and Electric Blue. I have this in this project for Alexi. Same situation as the BFF lip liner. I did use this once or twice. It's getting close to be needing a new sharpening, but I wasn't able to make a new mark on my paper. It didn't go anywhere. Next is my lip gloss from Lancome. It's a Juicy Tubes in the shade Desert. This is in here for Linda from Linda Loves Life. I'm at about the halfway point with this product, but I'm not reaching for this that consistently right now. I'm focusing on two other lip care products, one of which is in this project above this one, but I do look forward to getting back to this again. I really like this product. I just have too many glossy, balmy products and projects right now, and this one is not my focus at the moment. Another product that I really need to get back to, but I haven't given a lot of love to this in 2024 at all, is this NARS Rakugian pencil. This is in here for Rebecca S. She used to be known as Panning and Stuff. This is really getting down there, but I haven't been reaching for this at all. This would be a good product to put in my purse. This would be a good purse lipstick, but I have had so many lip products to focus in on so far this year that this one I haven't touched. This is Maybelline's Warm Me Up. This is in here for Christina Chang. I love this lipstick. I think I only used it once in the past month. It is a gorgeous shade. I love this shade so much. It's so beautiful. But yeah, let me roll it all the way up. Still a ton of product. No progress to talk about. Nope. Next is, oh, almost dropped it. Next is my Colourpop and My Little Pony collaboration palette. I have two shadows that I'm working on in this project for two different project panners. One of them I worked on, the other one I didn't touch. This is in here for Beth from Beth's Makeup Diary, and this is in here from Courtney, who is Triggy 3. This one I tend to reach for quite often in combination with my Razzle Dazzle Berry palette that I have in Pan in Every Palette. So I do use this quite a bit. This one I didn't get around to at all since last month's update. Once I hit pan on them, they roll out of this project. My goal is met, but I haven't met my goal on them yet. Next is my Wet n Wild highlighter in Purple Ashes. I've actually been using this quite a bit over the past month. This is a product that I was terrified to even touch for a long time, even after I put it in this project. And now I'm just kind of like, what was the big deal? This is a perfectly fine highlight. I mean, I know what the big deal is. It's purple. It's intimidating. But this is unbelievably wearable. My goal is to hit pan on this highlighter. I have hit pan on these Wet n Wild highlighters in the past, and it was it was easy to do. These are not deep pans. They are very, very shallow. Even though I only have a little bit of a dip going on in this corner, I could actually see myself hitting pan on this by next month's update. But I do have, I have one other highlighter that I'm working on in another project. And then I have 4 highlighters that I put in project 10 uses. So my focus over the past month has been more on the 4 products I rolled into project 10 uses, but I have used this quite a bit. I've really enjoyed it. It's not the one I'm wearing today. I have on that Revlon single eyeshadow that I am using as a highlighter today. But I think I could possibly have pan on this by next month's update. Maybe I should try to make sure that happens. I'm gonna put that to the side. Okay, next is my ABH and Mario Master Palette by Mario palette. I'm trying to hit pan on the shade Isabel, which is this one right here. I have it in this project for Shanrell from Shanrell Stash. Love that shadow. Haven't used it a ton over the past month. It actually would have gone really well with my eye look today, but I reached for another eyeshadow instead. But yeah, my goal is to hit pan on that, and I haven't done it yet. What you doing, sis?
I'm just looking for some food.
It's not dinner time. Oh, it is dinner time. What? Okay. Next is a shadow from the Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place. This is in here for Tori. And the shadow I'm trying to hit pan on is this one. I don't think I used it at all this past month. There is a dip going. It would be great to hit pan on it, which is my goal, but I have not met that goal yet. Yeah, sure. And then you need to eat dinner.
Okay, Mom. Okay, you can do your video now.
Thanks. Okay, up next is a blush from American Beauty. This is a brand that was at Kohl's for a minute, and I snagged this blush when it was on clearance for $3. It is a bold, shimmery pink that is not typically my go-to shadow, although I do have lots of blushes in this similar shade to this, but I snagged this for $3 at Kohl's. Plus I probably got it on, you know, an additional discount on top of that, which seemed like a pretty good deal. I put this blush, which is in the shade Rose Shimmer, in this project for Rose, and my goal is to hit pan on it. That's going to be a long-term goal. I do have another blush in another project, and I'm going back and forth between the two. So I try to use this about half of the month. Not wearing it today. I like it very much though, and I do feel like I'm slowly getting closer to hitting pan. I do feel like this blush is looking much more well-loved and used compared to when I first rolled it into this project. But this is quite a lot of product to get through, and it's going slow. Next is my Marc Jacobs. Oh, one of these days I'm going to remember it. Enamored Hydrating Lip Gloss Stick in Wet Your Lips. I love this shade, but I've put a similar product to this in another project, and I keep reaching for that product instead of this one. Like a lip gloss stick. I love the idea of a lip gloss stick. I did see that Colourpop is now selling what seems to be a very comparable product to this as well, which I am dying to try out, but have not yet. The problem with these products and Project Panning is there's no way to show my progress because they click up, but they don't click back down. So I have no idea how much of this I've used, but I really haven't reached for this much over the past month at all, unfortunately. My next product is this Fenty Beauty Mademoiselle lipstick in Candy Venom. I love this lipstick so much. It's an all-time favorite. I brought this in this project from Metropolitan Creole, and I put a usage goal on it because it is an extremely bold shade. And as you can see right there, my goal is to use this 20 times, and I am stuck right at 10. I don't think I've used this at all in the past month. I was kind of on the fence between this lipstick that I'm wearing now and this one. I wasn't sure which one I was going to put on for this video today because I am batch filming and I'm not really planning on leaving the house. And I figured I needed to go for a bold lip. And yeah, I do still need, I would wear this one out though. This one I probably would not wear out. This one I would wear out under certain circumstances. I am going out tomorrow. Maybe I'll wear this tomorrow. I still need to use it 10 more times before it rolls out of this project. Next is the Stila Smudge Pot in the shade Amber. This is an all-time favorite of mine. I love this so much. Not only do I absolutely love the packaging that I think is so gorgeous, but the product inside is truly amazing. It is like it could be a standalone eyeshadow for sure, but I sometimes also use it as an eyeshadow base. And the shade is just so perfect. Hazel, will you let Kitty out? It is just such a perfect shade, and I just love it. My goal is to use this in this project 30 times, and I am at 16 uses. So I am over the halfway mark. I'm very happy about that, but I still need to use it 14 more times before it rolls out of this project. Next is my Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. I'm working on a shade called Acoustic in this project. It is a taupey silver, which I have already mentioned I am a sucker for. I have this shadow in this project for Verity, who is also known as Red Dirt and Stardust, but I don't think I used this shadow at all in the past month. The next product in this project is this lipstick and lip gloss combination, which I have in here for Tadu, who is cruelty-free panner. This is the shade 84. It's also probably from the 1990s, so can't get it now even if you wanted to. It's actually Max Factor, and we haven't sold Max Factor in the US in a very, very long time. I thought this was going to be a very unwearable shade. It turns out it's not as unwearable as I thought. It is a little bit cool toned, which isn't the best tone for me. I do better with warmer tones, but it's not so far out of my comfort zone that I can't wear it. My goal for these products is to either use one or the other up. I don't care which one, but as soon as one of these is used up, I'm done with it being in this project. That being said, I still have a very long way to go on both. And I did use this once over the past month, but I need to use it a lot more than once a month to get through either one of these. A product that I use every day that I put makeup on is my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is in here for Jaylon, and I love this powder, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm only using it as an under eye setting powder at this time. I don't use it as an all over face powder, so I don't use a ton of powder, but I do use this very, very consistently. There's all my previous update markings, and when I look at it now, I am definitely below the most recent line. And I feel like it's going a little bit faster now that we're down here. I'm using the same amount every month, but it just looks like I'm using more because we're way past the widest part of this container. Yeah. That's what I have on the top. I take a brush, I dab it in there, I tap it off, I dust it under my eyes. It works well. It sets my concealer and color correctors, and it looks pretty decent. I think it adds a little bit more concealing to my under eyes as well. Kind of helps those shadows underneath my eyes to disappear a little bit more. And I'm really enjoying this product. That being said, I have a lot of face powders that I need to get through before I start shopping. And I don't know if this is my holy grail anymore. I think if I had to go out and buy a new setting powder for my under eyes, it would probably be an Hourglass powder. But I don't know. I'm really enjoying this though. And my goal is to use this entire container up. So we'll see if I could do that. Okay. My next product is also very close to being finished, and it's possible I could have it finished by next month's update. That is this Juicy Shaker from Lancome that I have in this project for Danny. This shade is called Freedom of Peach, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really show up. It's just kind of a clear, glossy lip oil. There are 2 shaker balls in the bottom of this package, and they are poking out above the remaining product in here. I think it's possible this could be gone by next month, and I am splitting my time between this and another lip moisturizer product, but this might have to become a focus product for the next month because I'm ready to use this up. This is another product that's not a love. I thought it was going to be a love. I wanted to have this so bad, but now that I'm panning it, I'm just kind of like, okay, when are you going to be gone? I don't love it.
For some reason, I never wrote this product down on my list of products in this project, but I am still working on this Hollywood Beauty Light Wand. It's getting used maybe once a month, once a week at most, because I'm still focusing on the cream highlight in my e.l.f. Shimmer palette. So this isn't getting a lot of attention, but this is in this project for Amber, and I wanted to mention it because it is now on the list, and I'm going to remember to mention it every month. And I really enjoy this. This is a really, really nice liquid highlight. It is gorgeous, and you can see the package has been squeezed a little, but it's not my primary cream highlight at this time. But it's in here for Amber, and I am working on it.
And the final product rolling over for another month is the one that just rolled in at last month's update. That is this Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Next to Not. And I have this in this project for Lauren, who is Beauty Nook by Lauren. Unfortunately, I didn't use this even once in the past month. These glitter products are a hard sell for me. But first of all, I think it would go great with this cardigan. And second of all, I can wear this. I can pull this off. I just didn't reach for it. So I need to put this at the forefront of my mind and remember that I have it and remember to use it and get at least one use in every month. But unfortunately, I didn't remember to use it at all this past month. The product that I'm going to be rolling in for this month is a product that I had in another project before, and I took it out of that project because I had too much going on, and I've never forgotten about it. I've always wanted to get back to it, and I just wasn't able to make that happen, but I've decided to make it happen in this project. And the product I'm talking about is my Pure Visionary palette. This was in Pan and Every palette for quite a while, and at some point I made the choice to go down to working on only 3 palettes instead of 4, and I took it out of that project. My goal in Pan and Every palette is to hit one pan in every palette, and I was kind of working between like 3 shades in this palette while it was in that project. And so I basically want to continue Pan and Every palette, but in this project with this palette. So I know it sounds kind of crazy, but bear with me. I have not touched this palette even once since rolling it out of Pan and Every palette. So as of the last time I used this palette, I was up to 4 uses on this second shade here called Dreamer. I had used this shade here called Rebel 5 times. I had used this shade called Innovator once. I had used this shade called Girl Boss twice. I had used this shade called Idealist 3 times. And I had used this shade called Role Model 3 times. So like I said, since rolling it out of pan in every palette, I haven't touched this even once. I always knew I would get back to it and continue working towards setting a pan in this palette. But I'm going to be doing that in this project for the Panners Pan. And the person I'm going to be doing that for is a project panner named Sarah Catherine. Sarah Catherine is not the most consistent updater. She is a project panner that I've been following for many years. And to be honest, there have been multiple times where I've been like, did she quit YouTube? I think she quit. And then boop, out of nowhere, she pops back up and throws up a couple videos, and then she disappears for again. She's got a busy life. I actually met Sarah in person. Sarah and I met. She reached out to me, I think it was 2 summers ago, not last summer. I think it was the summer before. And she told me she lives in, I can't remember what state she lives in, but she lives in a southern state south of Illinois. And but she was coming up to Chicago to visit friends, and she knew that I was in the Chicagoland area, and she's like, well, I'd like to stop by and see you on my way out. And I was like, let's do it. So we picked a bar / restaurant that's actually like a block away from where I live, and we met there. We actually were going to meet at another restaurant. That was a crazy day. I'm just starting to remember. I was so frustrated. We met at a new restaurant in town that I was really excited to try out. And we got there and they were like, it's going to be an hour-and-a-half wait. And I'm like, what? No. So then we went to another restaurant, which is like a Chili's, you know, the chain Chili's that's in like every town in America. And they were like, yeah, we're short-staffed. It's going to be a 3-hour wait. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So then the two of us, we were each driving in our own cars, drove to a pub that is like a block away from my house. I can walk there if I go there. If I'm going to be drinking, I could walk there and walk home. And we ended up going there and eating a burger, and the food was great and we had a good time. But that was a crazy day. But we sat around at this bar, we had lunch, and then she drove back home after that. And it was great to meet her. It was great to meet somebody who I've known through social media for a long time, but have never actually met in person. She is literally as beautiful in person as she is on camera. I'm not that person. I think I'm the person that looks a little bit better on camera than I do in real life, but she is as beautiful in person as she is on camera. And she's very, very kind and very sweet, and just a good person. She's just a good person. And I've been wanting to shout her out for a long time now, but honestly, I always think like she's quit YouTube, and then boom, she comes back. But this was her Pan That palette for 2023. And so because this was her Pan That palette for 2023, I wanted to bring this into this project for Sarah because it fit Sarah. And every time I see this palette pop up in one of her videos, I'm highly inspired to reach for this palette myself because I'm like, I have it and I would like to use it. The quality of the shadows in this palette are very nice. I like the color story very much. And I was really sad to take it out of Pan in Every palette, but I just had so much going on at the time that I just couldn't. It was just one more thing. And yeah. So now we're going to make it one more thing in the Panners Pan for Sarah. I will continue to track my usage of these shadows in my Pan in Every palette book, even though it's technically in this project, with the goal of hitting a pan in this palette. Once I do that, it will be rolling out of this project, and I could cross it off my list of the palettes I need to get back to in my Pan in Every palette project. So I will probably continue working with the shadows that I had started on, which are like these. I like all these shadows. I'm not sure which one I'm going to focus in on. The easy answer would probably be one of these lighter shades at the top, but we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do, but my goal is to hit a pan in this palette in honor of Sarah. Okay, and finally, I need to discuss with you the 3 focus products I'm choosing to work on for the next month. They're all the 3 products I believe I'm the closest to finishing or meeting goal on, and I don't think they're going to be any surprise, but the first one is this highlighter in Purple Ashes. I really think I could hit pan on this in the next month. I really think I can. It was shockingly easy when I tried to hit pan on another highlighter in this project a couple months ago. I think I can do it. The next item, of course, is once again my Colourpop Lipstick in Curvy. This was the focus product last month. It's going to stay a focus product because I am highly motivated to use this up and move it out. And the final product is this Lancome Juicy Shaker, which again, I do believe I can finish in the next month, maybe 2, depending on how much I focus in on it. So these are going to be my 3 focus products for the next month. It would be so amazing if I could hit my goal on 2 items and like actually have this the amount of products I'm working on go down for a month, because I meet a goal on 1 item, but then I roll in a new item for another project panner. So the number never changes. But if I could meet my goal on 2 items, then it'll go down by 1. And that would be so cool. So I don't know if this is going to be the month or not, but it would be great to happen. Anyways, that is going to be it for this update. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.